We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I am the man with the plan, the unicorn himself, one of a kind, Jeremy Mix. And sitting next to me on mic 2.
We're going to keep it old school. This is Mike Check.
That's gay.
David Elkins.
Done with this. This show's over.
And you are listening to another episode of The Grind. Jeremy, fuck off.
Oh, well, that's just... David, we were defeated last week. The computer, your Wi-Fi, anything that possibly could have went wrong last week.
My Wi-Fi all last week was fucking horrible.
Yeah, we're here, back into our old format, recorded. Danny's back behind the computer, making sure everything's running high and mighty. Danny, give us a shout out.
Shout out.
Good. Short and sweet, just like his wiener. Now,
yeah.
all week, been sitting, thinking, pondering. Before we get in the episode tonight, I was just thinking and pondering. I failed this channel. I failed my friends here, and I've failed me. Most importantly, I failed myself. I want to apologize to you, David. I want to apologize to Danny. I want to apologize to the fans, or just the people who listen to it, like Keaton, Hayden, and TFL, Tyler from the lot. Yeah! He's gonna appreciate that. A lot of times, you get competitive real quick. David, are you a competitive type?
Of course.
Yeah, right. That's what this whole point is. We're the grind, and we grind every day. We're grown men. We try to make a living, and this is what we do for fun. It's also a dream of ours to maybe one day be bigger than what we are. See, at the end of the day, I don't picture this being this backyard fucking bullshit that only 2 people listen to. At the end of the day, I want us to be big. I want to be bigger than anybody I can think of. But till then, we have to grind. We have to push forward. Right, David?
Exactly.
So, it's the equivalent of there's been several people I compete with in my head. People who are starting their own channels or just friendly competition. And I think our quality of show is way better. I think we're better at I think we're better quality of a show. I think we talk about a variety of topics. I think we're superior to some of these local channels that I've listened to, but we don't have a following as big as them. And I think it pushes me. It's like if you go to the gym and you say, man, I'm benching 135 on the bench. I feel good. I've never been able to do this before. And then you see some dude benching 225. And you're like, fuck. So you overcompensate, and then you crash and burn.
Right.
But that's what life is. It's all about making mistakes. I've made a mistake. I try to push us to become a live show thinking that would help. I try to push ourselves in several other outlets, and we failed. But you don't fail or succeed without trying, which I'm cool with. But I know for a fact that I'm not going to stop trying to make this show bigger and better than this channel will be bigger and better than anything you ever see. See, YouTube gave us real estate. They said, here's some free property. Build what you want. How big you can make it, whatever you want to do. So our platform that we're building here, yeah, it's held together by gum and Elmer's glue, but by the end of the goddamn day, it'll be bigger and better than anything. So tell your friends, tell their friends, because Simply Electrifying Productions isn't going anywhere. We might fail, we might not succeed at times, but at the end of the day, we regroup, because we're a family. We stick together, and we're simply electrifying. Now, David, you ready for this shit?
Yep.
All right.
Let's get to it.
You got me hyped up this weekend. I'm already hyped up, but you got me hyped up on a subject topic. So go ahead and lay down the folks. What do you want to talk about? You brought up that real interesting thing.
All right. So my dad and I was talking about this past week that the NFL should adopt like a G League type of system or like a minor league type of system. So basically, what I was telling you was the NFL could either revamp or not to 40 teams or keep the 32 that they have right now. But go to like the coaches that don't have jobs, if they create like a minor league system in places like, Toronto, Sacramento, even Vancouver, if they can tap into like London and Mexico where they already want football teams, then that's just going to help out the NFL even more. And then if they can tap into Canada, they could run out the CFL. And then they could take like their coaches or coaches that don't have jobs and get them, because everybody says that, black coaches, sorry if this offends anybody, but how they say that black coaches don't have a chance. Well, this might actually give them a chance to show, that they are worthy and that they deserve a job, which most black coaches, probably do deserve jobs over, like coaches like Gary Kubiak or anybody like that. So if they would go to like Sacramento or places like that, just each team have a minor league team to where it would affect how they draft, how they do free agents, everything, like the whole aspect of it. Jeremy, what do you think?
See, Saturday you text me something. You text me like the brief summary of all that, and I was thinking, I was like, I see what you mean, but when it comes to football, here's the only reason why a minor league system wouldn't work. It's actually a really simple reason. I know there's several ways you can dispute what I'm about to say, but this is the reason why they haven't done it. It's injuries. And that's literally it. Because the Alliance, the American Football Alliance that just came out, they were actually supposed to be supplied with NFL players like a minor league system.
Yeah.
But, the NFL pulled their guys because of injuries. Because, let's say you take a promising prospect. It's like the G League. You're right. Like the G League, not like every rookie plays in the NBA. They go to the G League. Mm-hmm. But some of them with promise, but they won't get playing time, go to the G League. So let's say we'll use the fucking. I'm trying to think of someone who drafted a quarterback this year that's not going to play even as a backup. We'll use the Panthers as an example. Will Greer just got drafted, right? Mm-hmm. We're high on Will Greer. We talk about it. We think he'll be okay. We don't know if he'll start right away, if he's even going to be good. We said that's a good, solid backup quarterback.
Right.
They start a minor league system. You're like, I want Will Greer to get out there and get some reps. Learn how to run a team. We'll see how he goes. And he takes one shot. Football is literally the worst example of having a minor league system. Because in basketball, guys get hurt, but not career-ending injuries. Or really, if you get your freak accidents, your ACL tears, the George Paul scenario or the Gordon Hayward scenario. Yes, I'm purposely meant to say George Paul because Paula George isn't. I'm not going to call him by his real name. But your quarterback takes just a simple shot and his shoulder's fucked. Andrew Luck, Cam Newton are guys that showed you when their shoulders are messed up, they're not the same. And it's just like one of those things that's why they pulled their guys out of the Alliance. They don't want their players getting hurt. It's another reason why they're trying to really actually get rid of college football in a way because people are getting. It's like Manziel came out as soon as possible. Winston came out as soon as possible. It's because they don't want their guys getting hurt and affecting their draft stats. I agree. There should be some. I do understand where you're coming from. There should be some type of. I wish there was some way to develop players in an easier way. But I think if you go to a minor league system and guys start getting hurt too much. And they ain't going to be able to pay these guys. The first, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Even if it's not like a promising prospect, whereas they could be a third string guy. What I'm trying to say is people that are the undrafted free agents, all that kind of stuff. Like the people that were on the whole bubble, the entire draft.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of those.
It's people like that want to prove themselves where, okay, like the AAF. Where
the Alliance was the Alliance.
Where they, I honestly thought for those 4 weeks or whatever that they were, a league, that it was at times better than the NFL because they were going taking shots, whereas what the NFL wouldn't. But the NFL could also implement the same rules for their minor league system.
I think here's the thing about where I'm going to take that point where you said the guys around the bubble who were undrafted, kind of they didn't get drafted, but they should play in the league. The minor league system won't work right now because the Alliance just folded, but they might come back. The XFL starts next year. Mm-hmm. We got you already said the CFL, Canadian Football League, arena football. So if these guys, and also the NFL has camps and workouts for undrafted guys all year round. So there's ways to get back in the league. And that's why a lot of them, those guys who you say, oh, man, they might be able to good. I'll use an example. You know who Roman Reigns is, right? WWE Superstar?
Yep.
He's actually a football player, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was on practice squads, CFL, and all that stuff. But when it came push come to shove, there's just so many. There's only limited jobs in the NFL. Like really, every team there's 50. You'd be like, oh well, there's 53 players to a team. But if you really start to think about it, there's how many starting positions? Like offense, defense, 22. Then you got your special teams. That's about 30. You can only have so many backups. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, so if they do like have this minor league system, the people that they basically sign over, in a way, they can always sign them to like the practice squad.
Yeah, and
I feel like if they had it in the spring, then there would be like the NFL all year round.
Yeah, and
whereas when the NFL teams are having training camps and all this stuff, the minor leagues are actually playing, and then they'll just switch roles.
You know why? Another reason why the NFL doesn't want to go towards the summer and the springtime. The players that do play in that time, especially right now, what happens in the summer? What happens on that field? It gets really hot.
Mm-hmm.
It'd just be one of those things where the weather, I think, would actually be like when it gets cold. I know you're like, well, when it gets cold, they still play. Yeah, but there's no. You can heat yourself up. You can't cool yourself once it gets so hard. You know what I mean? It's really it's one of those things. Like I said, I see where you're coming from. I really do. But it's just those limited jobs, and if they can't prove themselves on a practice squad to why they can't start, I don't really think a minor league system's going to prove anything otherwise. Oh, they work hard. That's fine, but what makes football players more successful, not only do they work hard and they practice and get better, they fall into a system. A minor league, as much as you try to duplicate a system, does it always work out when people try to copy each other's systems?
Sometimes.
Not necessarily, because the NFL is a copycat league. Every pro sports is a copycat league. Basketball, Golden State wins by threes, and threes, guess where the whole league turned to? Threes. Mm-hmm. Football, the Patriots, no one still turned to the Patriot way. They're like, will you take a pay cut? And they just laugh at me. Like, what the fuck? Hold on. It's just, that's why I'm saying, like, you can't really necessarily reduplicate from your starting team to your minor league team. And I do understand where your point is, like, coaches would have a more opportunity to prove themselves. But I think if you're truly a grade A coach or a grade B, you can find a job between college to the pros. Even on the practice, even like as an assistant and stuff, it's hard to get a starting head coaching job these days because a lot of them actually, it's just what's the trend? Copycat league. What kind of coach is everyone looking for? Do you know? What does everyone talk about? What coach just came along the scene last 3 years? Who's the bright young head coach everyone talks about? McVay.
McVay, yeah.
So why did Cliff Kingsbury just get a job for the Cardinals? Cliff Kingsbury was a terrible coach, and it was not necessarily terrible. He was an okay coach.
But he has the same playing as McVay.
He's just a college quarterback with an exciting offense.
Yeah.
He averaged like 7. He was a 500 head coach. He had Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield. Now come on now.
Right.
One was the MVP of the league in year 2. One was the number 1 overall pick. Had like the greatest like college season up until Kyler Murray just redid it, like statistically speaking. So like I said, I understand where you're coming from. It makes sense. Someone smarter than me and you would have to put it together and make more sense of it, because I don't think a minor league season should be longer than like 6 games or 8 games. Because like I said, that's too many. If you play a 16-game season in the summer, guys are going to die of heat strokes.
Right.
These are 300-pound men over here getting real hot and just die on the sideline. Like there goes Otis. He could tackle, god damn it.
Well, I mean, like even if they just did it in the spring, because the spring's like what, like 3.5 months basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think honestly, and another reason why no one, here's another thing I do. I'm going to bring this point up before we move on. The reason why no other football league has ever worked is because the brand of the NFL is much bigger than the sport itself. A lot of people just watch the NFL because it's the NFL.
Yeah.
There's people who never even watched a football game, but the Super Bowl comes around, that's what you watch.
Yeah.
So when a different league shows up, you're like, oh, that's cool, I guess, but it's not the NFL.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why any basketball league outside the NBA is like, oh, that's a cool basketball league, but
besides the big 3 that's kind of hanging around.
Being the big 3 is just fun. It's just a fun thing. You can see older players from the NBA and stuff. But I'm saying, like, the Euro leagues, it's disrespect they get on a daily because they're not the NBA.
Right.
Even though the NBA is just a whacked out, just a circus show of basketball, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, they just express the rules so you enjoy it more. It's great.
Yeah.
That's why guys come from overseas and they're really good.
Mm-hmm. Like
Luka, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert, all those guys, they just play real hard. They played a game that was based off fundamentals and working hard to go into the NBA, where the only time actual basketball gets played is in the playoffs.
Right.
Regular season, oh god, you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you're even remotely making the NBA money, they'll let you do whatever you want. As soon as you get to the playoffs, that's when they let you play. That's why playoff basketball is better than any basketball on the planet. Other than Olympic basketball, that's a whole nother conversation for another day, but I really enjoy the Olympics because
Me too.
those refs, oh my god, if you want to get drunk, take a shot every time Team USA gets called for a travel. Oh my god. All game. Go, another one.
Damn.
But no, that was actually a really good topic. I'm proud of you, David.
Thank you.
You brought something to the table for once. Usually it's me laying down these awesome formats.
Yeah, I was just, I was talking over with my dad, and I was like, man, that'd be, really something to talk about. And he was like, yeah, why don't you do it on your podcast? I was like, yeah, fuck
that's
it.
great. Shout out to Big Dave. Thanks for helping us out there. But, like I said, before we get into our next subject, we'll go ahead and squeeze this in. It is time to spill some beans. Studio audience, would you like to spill some beans? Spill the beans. Spill the beans. If you guys didn't already realize, we're doing Spill the Beans and Refried. Danny, take it over, buddy.
Hey, I'm back on the show. Hi, everybody. Thanks again for having me back, David. I'm really glad to be here.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing today?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Now, let me tell you something. I just had something that was really amazing. They call Mountain Mist. It's really fucking nice, dude. I don't know. Is it mist? Is it a mountain? We don't know. I just drink it.
Well, I'm glad that I can supply that for you.
Right on.
It's a very nice off-brand of Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I mean, are we all genetic in one way, Generic?
Yeah, that is true.
I have a question for Mr. Beans.
On line one, yeah?
Yes. Hi, local caller. My name is Haremy.
Hey, Haremy. How you doing today?
I'm doing really good. How do I know if you guys are actually recording this so people can listen to it this week? Because I was really upset that the last show didn't post.
No, trust me, I'm recording it, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll tell you if it records afterwards, okay?
well, thank you.
It's
Okay.
just built on trust, okay? Caller, thanks.
All right. So I've been thinking the other day. So I figure if I ever became you ever seen Avengers?
Hey, Danny,
Avengers?
there's someone calling for you on line 2. You might want to take that.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Line 2, you're on the air.
Hey there, friend. This is Kermit the Frog, and I'd just like to ask you, how do you know if it's recorded? Really concerned about that. It's a real live show, I think, and I just want to ask you.
You see how that's faded?
I'm not there in the studio with you, but yeah, sure. I guess I'll take your word for it. Anyway, gotta run. Miss Piggy's gonna beat me again. Ah!
Thank you, Kermit. Man, I feel bad for Kermit, man. You're in an abusive relationship. Usually he's supposed to beat the meat, but I guess he's porking it to the frog. Anyways.
Good one.
So you've seen the Avengers, right? You've seen like Endgame, you've seen like Infinity War. I'm just thinking.
I've seen one of them.
You seen one of them? Which one?
I don't know. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm not a big Avengers person. Kind of like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. I've never watched any of those.
Game of Thrones pretty cool too. Anyways, if you were a superhero, what would your superhero name be?
I don't know why.
I mean, this is a question.
I mean, your username on the computer is the Elkman.
Elkman.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So what's your powers, Elkman?
This is fucking very random.
Just random powers appear. Power up, boner. Oh, fuck.
I hate that. I always had that in middle school, dude. It's awful.
Yeah, especially like when the teacher would be like, "Hey, Jeremy, get to the front of the classroom." I'm like, "Yes, Mr. Tennis," and no, just me. Okay.
That dude went fucking crazy.
Anyways, if I was a superhero, my name would be the Iron Cock.
Nice.
You want to know why?
Why?
You don't want to know why?
This ought to be good.
It's not because I have a huge penis. I don't, but It gets the job done once in a while. I mean, I use the restroom like 5 times a day.
What the fuck's going on here?
I feel like me, Iron Man had a lot in common, so that's why I really like Iron Man.
Would you just be a chicken-based robot?
You mean Iron Cog? Yes.
Okay. Well, Danny, I'll let you call in one caller. Go ahead and hit the button.
All right. What line is it on?
I think it's that last flashing one.
The flashing one?
Yeah, hit that one.
Curb line. Hey, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, this is Jeremy. I'm locked in the bathroom again.
God fucking damn it. Hang on, guys. Jerry!
That was Spilled the Beans with Refried Beans. I'm your host, David Letterman. Wait, what? Is that what he does? I don't even know. Anywho, alright, back to the show. David, good job on that last segment. Danny, wherever you are, I tricked you to getting out of the room. Jerry. I was in the room the whole time.
Jerry.
Good job, Danny. Alright, boys and girls. It's that time again. Gonna talk about them playoffs. You guys missed a great show last week. If it was recorded, we are money. We talked for like half hour and, not
5 minutes.
Not 5 minutes. Sports. Shots fired there, Robbins. Anywho, let's get into it, David. Bold prediction. Who wins what game?
Warriors win. Game 1.
Like, no, like bold prediction. Like,
oh,
overall.
the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, they're going to win the whole thing in how many games?
5.
They're going to win in 5?
They're going to win in 5.
They're going to win in 5?
They're going to win in 5.
You already know what my bold prediction is?
Yep.
Bold fucking prediction. I've been doing these things rocket hard.
I know you have. Let me guess. Raptors in 6.
No, I'm going to go Raptors in 7.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a back and forth series. Why is people acting like it's going to... First off, if you disrespect the Raptors till 5, I'm going to tell you why I disagree with that. People be like, well, the Raptors losing 5 to the Warriors. Or people be like, oh, the Raptors winning 6. Dude, this is the NBA Finals. The fucking... what's it called? The Clippers can take 2 games from the Raptors. I mean, not the Raptors. The Warriors, the Raptors can. If the Houston Rockets can take 2 games from the Raptors...
From the Warriors.
Warriors. I keep getting these fucking mixed up because I'm just leading into the Raptors can. Long story short, the fucking Portland Trail Blazers were not even a top 5 team in the West, in my opinion, honest to God. I would rank Utah better than them. I would rank the... let's see. Well, if I ranked off the West, this is exactly how it would go. Number 1, these are teams I would take in the playoffs. Not saying record-wise. This is what I'd take in the playoffs over Portland. Golden State for sure, because that's why they swept them.
Right.
Houston Rockets. I would take the Utah Jazz, the Spurs, because I think they could coach. Greg Popovich can get anyone through a series. I mean, look at the fucking Nuggets. And then I would actually take the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's how much better I think they are in the playoffs. In the playoffs, not the regular season. Not in 82 games where Damian Lillard can just shoot as many long threes as he wants. But in a 7-game series, I would take any of those teams over the Portland Trail Blazers.
I agree with that.
It's not because, and I can break that down for anyone any day, but individual stars and just matchups, it's how it goes. When it comes down to this series, the Raptors have a player that the Golden State Warriors will struggle with if they don't have Kevin Durant. Kawhi fucking Leonard.
Which, game 1, we all know that Kevin Durant's not going to be there. So, I'm like, Raptors might take that, but honestly, I think the Warriors are probably going to pull out
You seem
game
like
1.
the type that you're going to say Raptors win game 2, and that's the only game that they're going to win.
Yes, sir. So, what do you think?
So, firing out of cannon, Raptors win game 1 by 5.
By 5.
Nothing too convincing. They're going to win within 2 scores. Game 2, Warriors win, bounce back.
Okay.
And the rest of the series, God only can help us with that one. I don't know. But I think they'll split the first 2 games. They won't be by much. They'll split the first 2 games. They'll go back and forth. Maybe someone go up 2-1. But Someone will have to go. I think someone will go up 2-1, and then they'll look like they're going to win. Like, they'll win back-to-backs, but it'll go 7. And in Toronto, with Drake front row, the Golden State Warriors will fall. Dynasty's over. Kawhi Leonard submits his legacy as the best player on the planet this year and further on.
But I'm just telling you.
And we will refer back to our podcast and point at everyone who goes, oh, Kawhi Leonard's best player on the planet. We refer back to my podcast because I'm the only motherfucker who in the planet was like, he's the best player on the planet. And then everyone's like, oh, no, he's not. It's Kevin Durant. And I'm like, no, it's Kawhi Leonard. And they're like, no, it's LeBron James. And I'm like, no, guys, it's Kawhi Leonard. They're like, no, girl. That's them taking in the butt. Like, it has to be anyone else. And I'm over here like, no, guys, it's Kawhi Leonard, the guy with the big hands, the claw. And then I'm gonna like the little aliens come. Yeah, that's
So look,
okay.
that got really fucked up and weird.
I'm real hyped up this episode. I'm so excited we actually got a new one this week.
So look, if Kevin Durant comes back in this series, which he probably will, he's going to eat up Kawhi Leonard.
He's gonna get his ass busted for every game. Do we have to refer back to every time? You know the Golden State Warriors have lost by an average of 15 more points a game this season.
We will revisit this when the Warriors win in 5.
No, we won't, because first off, the game next week they'll be in the middle of the series because they only start Thursday, and they'll probably by next Wednesday they won't be the series won't be over because they won't have Game 4 played by then.
Let's put it this way. If Kevin Durant comes back...
You already owe me a small order of wings. I am willing to put 2 large orders on the Raptors at least getting past Game 5. You said if you're so damn confident and cocky that the Warriors win in 5, I'll put 2 large orders saying they get past Game 5. And if the Warriors win in 7... Well, if they get to Game 7, we'll make another bet. But I'll put anything on that. They'll get past Game 5.
Make it too small because I'm a broke-ass motherfucker because I have a kid.
That's just a large one. We just put a large on it.
All right, fine. A large deal.
That's actually more money for small.
All right.
A gentleman's agreement.
So, look. If Kevin Durant comes back, this dude is going to average at least 28. At least 28 every game.
I mean... I got told that Giannis Antetokounmpo was going to bust this dude's ass. Everyone told me.
Did I tell you that? Did I tell you that?
I don't know. The episode didn't record last week. I can't remember.
I believe that I actually agree with you and said that Kawhi was going to eat him up.
I am so confident. God. Jimmy Butler looked like...
Fucking phones. I hate them.
Jimmy Butler got made to look like you on the court.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. He didn't look that good. He looked like Jeremy Maffioli on the court.
Wow. Jerry can actually shoot, though.
Jimmy Butler is the only person on that team who can shoot, okay? I can't compare him to Ben Simmons. There could be a whole... dude, the 76ers could be at practice, right? And they'd be like, guys, we're going to do a 6-hour practice unless Ben Simmons can hit a 3. They all look at Ben. It's like, here's a whole rack of balls. As long as you hit a 3, we can go home. And Ben will literally look at the rack and be like, all right, guys, let's just practice. Let's get this over. Not even attempt one? No, we'll just practice. That's not the point. The point being is we're back on the Raptors. And Kawhi Leonard, best player on the planet, he's going to eat that ass alive. First off, this is what I'm going to point out. I love to not talk stats. This is what I love. I talk stats, but then I talk actual real basketball because that's what someone should do when they talk sports. I go watch ESPN every day, and the only thing they do is throw numbers at me like I'm a fucking accountant. Guess what? I'm not. I'm going to talk the game. Kawhi Leonard, best player on the planet, hitting lucky-ass threes that roll in, hitting lucky-ass threes that bounce up 2 feet and go in.
Making grown men cry.
He's already made You know what's going to happen? Draymond Green's going to be in the parking lot calling Kawhi after the game. Join the team. Join the team. He's gonna be Draymond Green's is gonna be crying, begging KD to stay. KD's gonna be over there like, no one likes me. I'm gonna get on my 6 Twitters and I'm gonna defend myself.
Which one is the burner account? We will never know.
The one time he defended himself, he said he's trying his best. Damn it, Kevin, why are you talking about yourself in third person? Got caught. Danny, did you know that? Did you know about one of the best players on the planet, arguably number 2, not number 1?
He is number 1.
Had a burner account
Yeah, dude.
Isn't that dope? Babe?
That's sad.
Isn't that dope? The best player on the planet is so insecure about himself, he has to have 6 Twitter handles to make sure he looks good. I bet you he follows himself too, like, oh, gotta buff them numbers up. Anyway, best player on the planet, Kawhi Leonard, wearing his New Balances. I support New Balances. Dad's wear New Balance, I wear New Balance. We're ready to grill and chill, bitches.
Hey, grill and chill. I like it.
But, like I said, now we're talking basketball. Now I'm done being hyped. I'm going to talk about it. Let's match up these teams on paper, and then we're going to talk about it in person. Starting lineup for the Raptors, same probably as usual. We're going to have Kyle Lowry. We're going to have Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, best player on the planet, Pal Siakam, Marc Gasol, the former Defensive Player of the Year.
Right.
And then on the other hand, we got two-time MVP and Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, who didn't make an All-NBA team this year. Disrespectful. We'll talk about that sometime soon, too.
Yeah, he got fucked out of that.
Oh, and
Andre Iguodala?
who's no, he's hurt.
Is he hurt?
Yeah. Strained Achilles, dog.
Oh, that's right.
Finals MVP,
I do
Andre
remember seeing
Iguodala.
that. I do remember
Finals
seeing
MVP, Andre Iguodala. He ain't there, dog.
I do remember
Who
seeing
the
that.
fuck's starting right there? Festus Ezeli? Oh, wait, he's not there either, dog. Who you got, dog? Who's guarding Kawhi Leonard? Who's getting busted up for 40? Dog? Really, I'm actually asking you this question for realsies. Anyway, we still don't know because we'll find out the day of.
I think it's that McKinney kid.
Well, yeah, probably going
I
to.
think.
Or Looney, right? Looney has a chance.
Looney, yeah. It could be him too.
Oh, yeah, it is Kenny.
Because he got his fucking ankles broke
Oh.
by Dame.
Already? Oh, we're at 30. I thought you hit the 5 already. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh, cool. We got time. Sorry.
Whoever it is, McKinney got his
And then we're going to have Draymond Green. Draymond.
Kicking people in the nuts. I like
Going to
it.
be crying in the parking lot after Game 7, kind of like he did against LeBron. And then at center, we have probably DeMarcus Cousins. Oh, no. Well,
It's Andrew Bogut.
It's Andrew Bogus. Yeah? Did I say it right? Bogus? Huh? Bogus? Okay.
Hey, in the fucking EuroLeague, he tore up, okay?
Shut the fuck
I know
up.
it's not relevant.
We just talked about this like 5 minutes ago.
I know it's not even relevant, but whatever.
Okay, so. Alright, I'm done fooling around. No tomfoolery on this team. Kevin Durant's going to miss a couple games.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard's going to capitalize on that. If Giannis Antetokounmpo was not on the Bucks, the Raptors would have swept that fucking team. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the MVP of this league, might win the MVP. Probably going to win the MVP. I think he should win MVP. Got his ass busted.
Yeah, he was like 7 of 30 something when guard
And
against Kawhi.
Also,
I was like, God damn.
So if there's no one there to take on Kawhi Leonard, oh my God, I'm sorry. Klay Thompson got eaten by James Harden's little skinny ass. What do you think's gonna happen when a grown man comes at you? Not saying Klay Thompson's not a good player. He's just gonna get molested. It's just happening. Draymond Green can't guard him
He's too slow.
He's too slow, exactly. And he's gonna have to be on Siakam hard. Danny Green's going to have to do his best on Steph. Honest to God. It's not hard to guard Klay in a way because we both know he's not dribbling the ball.
He just catch and shoot. But, I mean, the way that they run around the pick and rolls and screens.
Yeah, I mean, they're going
to
they're going to hit shots. That's not the problem here. I'm just saying you don't actually have to put a primary on the ball defender on Klay. You just have to put someone who will put a hand in his face. Yeah. When you have someone guarding Steph Curry's like, oh, hey, that's a nice triple team. Put it twice between my legs, around my back once, bounce it off your big forehead back to my hand and went around you. Like, what the fuck just happened? I just coughed. This shit. That's what I'm saying. You got to have, like, Danny Green is going to have his hands full. He's going to get his ass busted. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Steph Curry ain't going to bust some fucking heads. But the biggest lopsided matchup right now is on Kawhi. The last 2 series he's had on the primary forwards that are great ball players, especially on the defense end. Giannis Antetokounmpo might win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Let that settle. I don't think that's ever happened. If so, it happened a long ass time ago. Right. And he made Jimmy Butler look like a bum. He made Ben Simmons look like a bum. Joel Embiid cry. I mean, come on now. Tobias Harris look like a bum.
I love Tobias Harris.
It's just they need Kevin Durant. That's it. That's a whole different series. I'm not talking Kevin Durant from game 1 to game 7. No, he ain't there. Andre Iguodala isn't there. They have shown that they struggle against independent forward superstars. LeBron James averaged 36, 11, and 9. And he's not a shooter, remember?
Right.
LeBron James almost beat this same team we're looking at with Matthew Dellavedova and Timothy Mozgov in the starting lineup. And I'm supposed to not bet on Kawhi Leonard with Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam, Marc Gasol, and Danny Green. That's the supporting cast.
But LeBron James almost lost a 3-point shootout to a 14-year-old kid the other day.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit more lopsided. You really think about it, because a lot of 14-year-old kids haven't grown into that weird stage where their arms get longer than their body. So a lot of times you actually really want to know something fun. Middle school kids shoot a lot better than 9th graders a lot of times because their body hasn't necessarily changed a lot. So yeah, there's that, and plus those mid-range shots. It wasn't like an NBA 3-point line.
Yeah.
It's his version of a mid-range game. So that kid probably felt great because he was shooting 3-pointers, barely hopping them over the rim. But LeBron's like, you want to shoot at an NBA range, he'd hit like the same. He'd have the same clip, and then that kid would hit maybe one, throwing the ball as hard as you can. So debunked.
I had to throw that in there.
I remember that next season when we're talking about Victor Oladipo and how he got crossed over by that little kid, but we ain't bringing that up either, are we? Oops, I did. I don't know who broke the ankle. I don't know who broke his ankle harder, Vic or that kid. But it's okay. I get it though, where people say that they can win in 5, but I definitely would not disrespect the Raptors because they have dogfighted since literally the start of round 2. Actually, you could say since the start of the playoffs because DJ Augustine fucking whipped that ass.
But here's the only thing that I'm saying though, is the mismatch is Kawhi, but how good at defense is Kyle Lowry? Not very good.
But who's he gonna guard? He ain't on the ball defense. That's what I said. I said take away the on the ball defense. You put him on the guy who's not going to actually dribble the basketball, and then you make him a better defensive player. If I just tell you to chase someone and not worry about making him drive the ball, would you have a better time than saying, oh, you have to stop that dude from doing absolutely anything he wants? If I said just chase Danny around while he has his pants off. I mean, it's a lot easier than just saying...
That's creepy. I'll just let him go.
Just let him go. That's true.
The competitiveness in me, I mean, I'd want to be on the ball.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if you were guard, that's what I'm saying. You're competitive, right?
Yeah.
What if I told you the guy you're guarding doesn't dribble the basketball? That gives you an advantage, doesn't it? You don't have to worry about this dude dribbling past you because he's not that good at it.
But
you smell blood in the water, don't you?
I'm going to guarantee you though, they will put Kyle Lowry on Curry.
If they've already made that mistake, then Jesus Christ, they're gonna lose in 4. They ain't gonna lose in 5. They're gonna lose in 4.
I will bet you.
I bet you that fucking if there's no Kevin Durant, I bet you Kawhi Leonard guards fucking Steph Curry. Then it's a whole nother ball game.
But I mean, Danny Green is a better defender. But do you really think that he's going to run around with Klay Thompson all day? That's what Klay Thompson does.
But you also got to realize who's also one of the key contributors to the Raptors that you're not talking about yet.
Siakam.
No, I'm talking about deep on their guards. Fred VanVleet.
Yeah.
He'll follow his ass the whole time. He ain't scared. He's fearless.
They're not going to have him in.
Yeah, they are.
The whole game.
Not the whole game, but you keep your guys fresh. If someone's running your ass to death, why would you keep that guy in tired?
But by that time, then Klay Thompson's already went and put up 12 points on his fucking ass.
That's fine because he's probably going to finish the game with 18. It's Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson has not shown me so far this playoffs that he's going to erupt for something. As much as I say he's due, everyone he's due. You're right, he is, but he's not doing it right now.
So
Klay Thompson can get 20 easily.
So if Danny Green goes out and they put in VanVleet to guard Klay Thompson,
I'm saying Kyle Lowry's going to guard Klay Thompson, and I think it's not going to be old dude. No, you're saying.
Well, if they end up doing that, which they probably will.
And if also, like I said, if there's no Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard's taking one of those fucking guards. There's no doubt in my mind. Why would you
which
not?
would probably happen.
Yeah, which would be the smartest thing? Would you want Kawhi Leonard on Draymond Green? Or what's Draymond Green doing against? Well, he dribbled the ball twice. Okay, and he passed it. Okay, cool. What else did he do? He dribbled the ball 3 times. Okay, missed a layup. Okay, cool.
Which honestly, I would put him on Curry.
Nick Nurse trusted Kawhi Leonard after they went down 0-2 to take out Giannis and make him neutralized. He understands what he has in Kawhi Leonard. He understands the challenge he gives Kawhi Leonard. He will put him on Curry or Clay. If there is no Kevin Durant, he will make that bitch lopsided as much as he can.
It's going to be very, very interesting.
It's going to be a 7-game war. It's the only way I see this happening. It has to be a war. Because here's another thing you're not contributing into it. The Raptors can slow down the game and go really big on the Warriors. Mm-hmm. Because they could literally put any big... They can go big, they can go small, they can go medium, it don't matter. If they truly wanted to slow down the game and go fucking huge and long and slow down the game, I think they have the power to, because Kawhi Leonard is a human cheat code at the mid-range level. Because that's all they would have to do. And then in the defensive setting, you have to shut off... You have to play physical against the Warriors. That's it. The Cleveland Cavaliers showed you in 2015 and 16. They do not like physicality. That's the only way the Raptors have been able to win in these close series. They had to get physical with the 76ers. They hoed up Ben Simmons from even trying to dribble the damn ball because they had to get physical with him. Right. Made Jimmy Butler obsolete. Joel Embiid. They got to realize the guys they've had to fight to get to this moment. First round, nobody, of course, because it's the first round of the Eastern Conference. There's no one in the first round.
Which they played Orlando, right?
Yeah, Orlando. I said G.J. Augustine was the hero of the one game that they lost.
Yeah. Which was
awesome. The second round, and then they beat that ass the rest of the way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Second round, like I said, made Joel Embiid cry. Tobias Harris. People who arguably will say one of the best starting lineups on paper and talent-wise. Good for you. The Raptors just beat you in 7.
Right.
And gave you absolutely all they had. Now they go against the Bucks, who literally are long, lengthy, and shoot threes, and they ran them off. Made Chris Middleton, who's an all-star this year, average 9 points in every game other than the one he had 30.
Did you know that leading up to the Raptors series, he was shooting 65% from 3?
Oh, I believe it.
And after that, he was shooting 42?
You know the only game he had 30 is the game they lost by 20, so does it really matter that he had 30?
Not really.
That's what I'm saying. They'll be like, well, he only averaged like 15. No, in every other game he averaged 9, okay? So we'll just pump the fucking brakes on Chris Middleton. Giannis isn't a closer. I just think it's a war. That's what this series is. It's a war. It's the NBA Finals. Last year was a sweep because there was no dog in that Cleveland team. They were tired, and honest to God, they were deflated after J.R. Smith smoked some pot before the fourth quarter and fucked that timeout up. Dumb fuck. But
pass him a bottle of Henny.
Anything's possible. But when it comes down to it, this is the NBA Finals. It's going to be really close. I think Pau Gasol, he's on the Bucks. Marc Gasol on the Raptors. Jesus Christ. What? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and apologize again like I do every week. If I start fucking up names and confusing with people, I get it from my grandpa. I'm dying of old age over here. Shut up. Leave me alone. Anywho, I'm going to die eventually. We all die. Anywho, Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol is a really good team leader for that team. Because if they still had Jonas Valanciunas, the team would have already lost. Mm-hmm. When they went down 0-2, Marc Gasol was the first one to the media that we all have to step up. We're leaving that dude high and dry. They needed Kawhi Leonard to carry him through the second round, and then Kawhi Leonard needed help the third round. If they didn't learn how to win as a team, if they learn how to win as a team now, that's what's scary. The Warriors did the same thing. Kevin Durant carried them through the first series. Then they had to learn how to win as a team. Now both teams are clicking at all cylinders. What gives you goosebumps is when you start thinking about it. You really think it's going 5? if you really think it's going 5, hats off to you. But when I get my large order of wings out of you, we both know this is the NBA Finals. This ain't one of them Cleveland teams that's held together by Elmer's glue and
Sticks
and bubble gum. That's our platform we built here at YouTube. But it's more than that. This is a war. Toronto's never been to the finals before. This is 24 years in the making. You think they're just going to lay down, especially at home? No. If anything, Warriors win in 6 in the last game at Oracle. That's where if the Warriors win, it's in 6 at Oracle. Finish them off in the last game at Oracle. It'd be like Destiny's like, that's the magic book. 3-peat finished in Oracle. Oh, man, can I call that now? No, I already said fucking Raptors in 7 with Drake happy. But it's interesting. It's interesting for sure. But we'll see. So, I did want to bring this up today. Going on to our last thing before we wrap up the show. You see the Houston Rockets are making everyone available for trade?
I did not.
Yeah.
You had texted me earlier. I was like, what?
It was one of those Woj bombs. Adrian Wojnarowski just said, hey, their GM came up and said, Daryl Morey.
Like everybody.
They're open. They want to make a better team for James Harden. So, it's interesting. How do you feel about them? They've been, in the last 3 days, they've been trying to trade Clint Capella. They've been talking to people about it.
Why?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do you feel about it?
I think that that's just stupid. Clint Capella is obviously their top rebounding guy, but he damn near averages a double-double almost every game. Like, come on.
Yeah,
how stupid are you?
And then they're also talking about Chris Paul. They say even Chris Paul's up for grabs.
I mean, I can see that because he's getting older, but he's a decent point guard still.
You know what I mean? I really don't know how much Chris Paul necessarily has as an elite point guard.
As trade value, I don't think it'd be much. Really,
I think his contract's really big. His age does have to factor in a little bit, but if you're going to the right team that could win a title with him, like within a couple of years, kind of like how Kevin Garnett got traded at that age. Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen got traded at mid-30s.
The Nets fucked themselves on that. Okay.
No, I'm not saying that trade. I'm talking about when Boston won the title in 08.
Oh, okay.
When they got Kevin Garnett from Memphis.
Yeah.
Not talking about the fucking infamous, not the infamous Nets and Boston trade where Boston got Jason Tatum in the long run.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, when Boston went all in for that 08 title, that paid off. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, Chris Paul would be worth deteriorating a team you could win a title with immediately.
Right.
Like, that's what the Clippers did. That's what the Rockets did to get him. But then I think they realized, you see, they actually got into an argument after the game in the locker room after Game 6.
Him and Harden?
Him and Harden.
Really?
Yeah, because he was bitching out for not passing the ball. Yeah, when you start losing and the guy who holds the ball for 99 possessions out of a 100 possession game, you see what happens.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Well, like every game that I watched of them, I mean, Harden shot all the time.
Chris Paul standing in the corner.
Yep.
And Chris Paul standing in the corner. And then when actually James Harden's out of the game, Chris Paul and Clint Capella played great.
Yep.
So, like I said, I don't know. Like, I don't think they should have gave Chris Paul that big ass contract the way they did. If they weren't going to keep him long term, they should have understood that this wasn't going to be a full time marriage. It should have been something part time, get it over, see if it goes. Mm-hmm. Because there's actually one team I could see Chris Paul. There's maybe 2 or 3, but there's one team I see him going to and could win a title with. You're gonna call me crazy, but I think him and LeBron could win a title together. Because the fact is they're best fucking friends. Not like the Wade and LeBron part 2 at Cleveland, because Wade was way past actual title contending starter prime. I still think Chris Paul has a year or 2 left.
So, do you think that the Rockets came out and said that they're going to sell cheap, or are they actually trying to get...
they're saying that they're listening to offers from everybody.
Well,
I think this is because last season they did the same fucking thing. Other than when putting Chris Paul and Clint Capella in the market, they were doing late trades because they were trying to improve last second. Remember when they got Marquise Chris and all those dudes? Mm-hmm. Didn't work out.
See, if I was the Lakers, I'd be like, all right, what are you going to end up giving me for Chris Paul and Eric Gordon? Eric Gordon's a good six-man.
That's another thing. Is if LeBron got his hands on Eric Gordon, you see how good he does.
Yeah, he could utilize him so good.
Yeah. I didn't even think about Eric Gordon. I forgot about that. I didn't forget about it. I just forgot even that the Lakers could use him like crazy. I mean, you're right.
Chris Paul and Eric Gordon, dude, on that team would make that team so much better.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They would instantly become a playoff team. I mean, like with that roster on paper, I don't give a fuck anyone says. They almost made the playoffs this year until LeBron got hurt and Lonzo got hurt. I'm saying if he had LeBron, Chris Paul, and Eric Gordon, that'd actually be a really good because they'd all play defense too. Like people don't realize Chris Paul would be the only person not scared to yell at LeBron, and he'd tell his fat ass do defense like,
right.
Gain 30 pounds, fat fuck. You better stop drinking wine, bitch. That's what he say too. And then Eric Gordon, he's good. Like you see Bradley Beal might go to the Lakers.
I did not.
Yeah, they're talking about Lakers. The big trade right now is the Lakers are talking with the Wizards to trade the 4th pick for Bradley Beal, but they also want Lonzo Ball. But that's where they're kind of having a disconnect. I wouldn't trade Lonzo Ball for Bradley Beal. If I'm giving up the 4th pick is more valuable than anything. And I'll be like, no, you're not touching Lonzo. I can touch. Like if you could trade Lonzo for like the 6th pick.
Why do they want Alonzo? I mean, why don't they get like an actual good power forward? Why not try and get Kuzma?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not too. That's what I'm not too sure. Like the Wizards are just dumb. First off, why are you trying to get a point guard with John Wall? Well, John Wall's out next year, more than likely. Yeah, I know. You might as well just tank next year and get a fucking perfect pick. Well, then we'll have Lonzo Ball. Like I said, you're still going to be paying John Wall. You're probably not going to be able to trade his fat ass, so you might as well just keep him and just suck.
I mean, for the Wizards though, in their power forward, like the reject Morris brother.
Yeah, the one that was considered better until the other one played for Brad Stevens.
Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah. But all right, man, that's a good episode tonight, bro.
It was.
It was good. All right, people. We are Simply Electrifying Productions. You got anything else to say?
Like, share, subscribe. I mean, if you have any kind of questions or you just want to comment, hit the comment section on anything that we talked about.
Or go to JMix34 on Twitter. I'll talk to you all day.
We would love to hear back. Just kind of give us some feedback. If you want to hear like anything at all, what we should talk about next week, just put it in the comments, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk. Like I said, tell your friends. But anyway, guys, before we get off here, I definitely want to double down and apologize again. Hopefully we don't do that again. We're going to do everything in our power to bring you an episode every week. And actually, we are working on our 2nd show for this channel. It's going to be in the works. Hopefully we can give you guys more news on it next week. But until then, we are Simply Electrifying Productions. This is, David, what studio is this?
45 Studios.
45 Studios. I am Jeremy. That is David. Danny, are you in the other room? Danny, get back in here, goddammit.
Jeremy.
I was in the bathroom the whole time, buddy. That one, next to the room.
I'm bamboozled.
All right. Do you have anything to say before we get off here?
I am the Iron Cock, and thanks for listening.
And you got a mouthful.
Hey!